Howdy from Houston. It's going to be about 97 degrees today. Just the way I like it. Good and sweaty. The goings on. Well, little recap for the week that you probably aren't hearing a lot on mainstream news because they don't report anything anymore except fear and how bad MAGA and Trump is. But the Middle East, a lot went on there. At least keep up on it with Trump's visit over there. A lot of different things end up going to be historic or changing a lot of things. And one of the biggest things is keep us out of wars in the Middle East. Do your research. The Diddy trial is on, all the exposure that's going to come from the elite, the pedophile rings, the child slavery and child sex trafficking that's rampant among the elite, but also among Hollywood and the music industry and anybody who's up there. A lot's going to be coming out on that. Supreme Court, keep an eye on them. The actual Supreme Court. There's going to be some stuff coming up down the road that is going to expose some things that aren't going to be too pleasant for it. Ukraine, Russia, almost to a deal, a peace deal. They're coming to the table, but it's in movement. A lot going on. Tariffs. So the tariffs have been in place, I don't know, a month maybe. And the mainstream media and all the pundits were dooming, glooming, saying we're going to go bankrupt and all this, and people are coming to the table, and the world hasn't exploded yet, so more coming down the road on that. We'll revisit that, and I'll talk more in depth on that another time. Biden and supposedly has cancer. The timing. So he was not even cognizant during his, the mainstream media and even some of his administration that are in the public sector now are admitting that he wasn't together. He didn't have his faculties together physically or mentally during his administration, which opens a whole can of worms. Some things illegal. That's all going to come out. And then he has cancer now, supposedly. We'll see. Listen, I had a comment from a friend of mine on Facebook today saying, hey, Keith, you're better than that. Because I was just talking about Biden, all this stuff coming out on him. Just because he has cancer doesn't mean I'm empathetic to any individuals that are sick and stuff. But we have to have accountability. If we don't, then we're going to keep repeating the same patterns that we've been in forever and ever and ever. So we'll just watch how this all plays out. These are some things to touch. But something I revisit often is I saw something on a podcast I was watching this morning about Ether. This guy talks to me, Ether. How Trump is a disruptor. And I said that in a post to a friend of mine the other day, guy I know. He's a disruptor. I don't follow him blindly. There's a lot of things I don't agree with. But he came in and he disrupted the whole system. The way on both sides, Republican and Democrat, who most of the time they're the uniparty. They all answer to the same puppet masters, the banks and corporations and other things that you're going to find out. We needed somebody like a Trump to come in and disrupt the whole thing. Because on so many levels, there's many reasons for that. We need to change, take back control of our government, and through that, the ways we're in complete net and all this stuff that's happening, so that the people's eyes are starting to wake up. And also, it helps people wake up. It's not on a spiritual level, on a pragmatic level, on whatever level it takes for a person to wake up. RFK Jr., somebody who's put on. For instance, we have clients. I've had a lot of clients who, came to us. We have a holistic wellness company, who their doctor put them on a 6th medication, in 3 years, and they're just tired of all the coming in and doing all the meds. So they're looking for an alternative solution. So my point is, whatever it takes for this individual, for you, you're not quite awake yet, to start digging down rabbit holes and not blindly trusting the media, the government, all this sort of stuff, and start thinking for yourself and looking at maybe other alternatives that fit reality that may be happening. The mainstream calls people like that conspiracy theorists because we're not going against the mainstream. We're rattling the cages, and they don't like that. Now, conspiracy theorists are now almost being proved right at every step of the way. Things I said 5 years ago, people like me, basically have all turned out true and are turning out true. So do the research. I stress that over and over because we're in a time, this isn't about do it so you'll come to Trump's side. I'm not saying that. This has nothing to do with that. And I don't live my life helping people to try to push like MAGA or Trump. That is just one level of everything I do. One level that enabled me to start seeing years ago how we've been lied to about so many things. And we have to wake up to this stuff because so much is coming down the road. We've been lied to about everything, basically. And the more you prepare, the more you start doing your own research, the more you start questioning everything from all sides and going down those rabbit holes, the more you'll be prepared when these shocking to some people truths are going to be coming out. They're coming out now. We're finding out about the dyes in the foods, for instance. That should be banner news right now. And parents concerned about their kids. The kids have been eating these dyes, the red number 5 and yellow and all those dyes in their foods is causing all sorts of problems. That alone is worth weeks of discussion. And it's been in our food supply for decades. So much is coming out. That's why you need to take control of your information. Take control of what you believe. Start questioning everything and looking at everything and researching it, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. Because as the carpet gets pulled out from us on everything we think life is about, life, government, health, whatever, religion, you're not going to be, you're going to mentally be prepared for it a little bit more than just being blind and having all of a sudden it face you in the... this has been my running theme for ever since I started doing these videos. Take control of your life, do the research, think for yourself. And I say this again, back to the Trump analogy I was making. I tell anybody who will listen to me over the years, don't follow one person like a Trump or a Biden. One person, one entity, one corporation, one school of thought, one religion is not going to save us. No, if you put all your eggs in a basket and think that person or that religion is going to save you, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. You are saving yourselves. We are saving ourselves through, number one, finding the truth, seeing the real truth for what actually is, and then working on it. People coming together. And I'm seeing that more and more in my travels. People from all walks of life starting to come together. I've seen the last couple of years, but this last year really realizing, oh, well, we don't have as much, we have a lot more in common than the news is telling us, than our leaders are telling us. This is very important. We, the people, are taking our power back on every level. Body, mind, soul, spiritually, practically, 3D, 4D, whatever you want to say. So, do your research. This is not just, I'm saying this as a request that you listen, but it's imperative. Okay? Anyway, want to leave you with that stuff. Hope you're having a good time, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.